Now, in yesterday's episode, we got a lot of photo etch. And I was thinking, okay, we probably got almost all of it, but I noticed this over here, we have to get a whole bunch more little triangular shaped pieces that I guess have to go under here, some kind of bracing. And then there's a large piece right here, B11. But I was noticing that I did not get all the plastic parts, and I thought we had got all the plastic parts. But we need a couple of pieces called E4, which is right here. This is E4. We need two of them. Well, there's two sprues, so we're okay. A lot of the other parts, like for instance, the life rafts down here, we've already got them and they're already made up and painted. And my hope is for this whole page, which looks like a lot of big plastic parts, but as I mentioned before, each one of these drawings is the same piece, so it's not as bad as it looks. And I would like to get all the photo etch glued in place on all the parts so that we can sort of spray all at once. Now, things don't always work out as planned. Well, I can see there's a couple of more plastic pieces down here we need as well, also off the E sprue, and they're called E1. Well, they should be easy to find. There it is right there. Yeah, it even looks like the drawing. So, okay, let's see if we can get the plastic parts that we need. I do believe this is the only ones we need, the E4s and the E1s. The rest of the stuff we need, we've either already got it or it's more photo etch. So that's what we're going to be doing in this episode. I don't know if we're going to get to painting. We'll see how it goes. E4 and E1. I have all the flashing trimmed off these pieces now, and so these are our E4s, and they go up underneath here, but when I look, it almost looks like it's not going to fit properly there. Okay, now here's another drawing right here. It shows it upside down. Let's put it upside down. Okay, now you can see the piece right there. It kind of goes in there like that. But you know, it kind of goes in there, but it doesn't really. If you look, you can see that the way that is rounded, it just doesn't fit flush. But that's the way they've got it drawn. In fact, if you look at the drawing here, you can see that, you know, if the little part had been molded to fit the contour of this piece right here, it would make more sense. But it wasn't. It's all squared off. Now, later on, when you move over here, you can see we are going to be putting photo etch up against it. What it's all about, I don't know. I guess it will add to detail, but will the detail make sense? But actually, you know what? Does it really matter? Because the way we're going to be viewing this thing is like this, and in all likelihood, people aren't even going to notice that little box in there. Rambling again. Okay, I'm going to just glue them in place the way it shows on the manual here. I don't think there's any up or down to this. I'm not noticing any, like detailing on the back there that indicates up or down, so I would think it would just get them in like that. That's about it. I'll just put a little bit of, I don't think there's supposed to be any kind of space, in like the way it is right now. You can see there's a little bit of space, and if I push it up against the wall, it's a little bit tight. It's not indicating there's supposed to be a space. And yet, on the other hand, if there was, let's see, where does the photo etch have to go on this? It might add to the detail if there was a space. I don't know. That won't be coming out of there soon. Now I've done the one on the other side the same way. Now these E1s are shown as being put on at the very end of this step, and they go on like so. And I'm just wondering, would they maybe look better, or would this whole module look better if these were a different color? Like all the sides here are going to be painted the number, I think it's number 22. In other words, what most of the superstructure is going to be. But there's going to be a lot of small parts, like for instance these searchlights. I do believe they're supposed to plug into these holes here. Yeah, they're supposed to go in here. Well, this doesn't want to go in too good because there's flashing on that, but we'll get rid of that. So let's assume that this searchlight is plugged in there, and it's a different color. I'm thinking that maybe if these were painted the same color as the searchlights and anything else that might be on there that's small. Now, I haven't decided yet about what's going to happen with this. Got to be careful how I pick it up that I don't break those optical things off. It's supposed to sit right like there, something like this, probably facing this way. Yeah, will this whole thing maybe be painted a different color, or is this going to be the 22 as well? Well, we'll see what happens when we get that far, I guess. So maybe I won't glue these on right now, because they will. It'll be easier to paint them separately and then carefully glue them on, and hope that I don't get let the glue make the paint run, if you know what I mean. Otherwise, I got to paint them a different color afterwards, and I usually don't have real good luck doing that. Okay, let's get our E32s that I missed here. And this is them right there. Some kind of a davit. Okay, we've got everything trimmed up here. And when I was filing and sanding these parts here, the sprue was on the outside. It was fairly easy to get it off, but a person does have to be careful not to take these little details off. That is some sort of either a pulley or maybe a ring that a rope would go through or something like that. I don't know if later on I'm going to be trying to maybe put a a little piece of easy line, like from here to here, from here to here. I don't know. We'll see how it goes when we get that far, which won't be for a long time. Now, I had to study the diagram here for, well, not hours, but for minutes anyway, to try and figure out this piece photo-etch B11, which is this piece right here. how is it supposed to go? Because at first glance you think that this edge here gets glued onto the side right here. And then I realized that when they drew this arrow, they should have had the arrow go all the way through. Like this one here, you notice how the arrow goes all the way through, and it's sort of made up of little dots to indicate that it goes through to the other side. Okay, so this piece actually will be going all the way through and to the other side here. Yeah, so now it all makes sense. And then I guess this part here is folded up and will be like a little, I don't know, railing or something. Anyway, we'll get it nipped off, and you'll see when we get that far. Or maybe I should say I'll see when I get that far. Okay, we have our B11 here. And when we move on, we have about another 7 little triangular pieces that we have to get, the D18s and D35s. And I'm thinking that because they're sort of similarly shaped to these ones that we got over here, I'm not sure, I haven't seen them on the sheet yet, but they might be, if they're the same size, it would be easy to possibly get them mixed up when it comes to gluing them on. So what I'm thinking I should do here is we should have a separate tin for the 18s and a separate tin for the 35s. Now, when we move over to step 34, right at the beginning, there's more 18s and 35s that we have to get. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. We've done enough photo etch nipping in this episode and the previous. So yeah, we'll see you when that's done. I believe we're almost done the photo etch now. Seems to me I said that about 2 episodes ago, and it just never seemed to end. However, I do believe that when we get to the end of this, that's it. Okay, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more pieces. Once again, I'm just going to go ahead and get them, and we'll look at them after. Now these pieces of railing, E12. Now we painted those on both sides. Must be a couple of weeks ago now. So they're done. Now, as near as I can tell, that is it for the photo etch for steps 33 and 34. Now, I think the best way to go here with this is to start at the beginning of step 33 and do it systematically. Even though some pieces are going to be a lot easier to put on than others, I think we'll just do it in order. There is the possibility too, if I was to do something way over at the end of step 34, it might be blocking something that I need to put on earlier, you know what I mean, although I don't think so. So we may as well start with the searchlights, and the only photo etch that goes on them is the little control wheels, which are somewhere in here. But you know, it's just after 2 o'clock this afternoon here in Winnipeg. And I think I'm going to leave it for the next episode. And then I won't sort of feel rushed. Otherwise, all of a sudden, I'll find that I've got myself so engrossed in putting on the little pieces that the time has slipped away, and then I panic. So we don't want any panic. Not at the model table. Thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.